What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unscripted Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Eduardo, and I'm here with my co-host, Edward. What's up, Edward?
How's it going, Ed?
Not much, not much, just another week of football. Yesterday we had the Equinox, sports Equinox. Every sports, major sports leagues played. So, it was a good week for the sports bettors. But yeah, man, football was great. Yesterday, ended week 8.
It's a good week for the
Um,
sports bettors. I don't know about us in particular, but that's a different subject for a different day.
But yeah, another
Just saying.
week. Yeah, another week of NFL. Another great week of NFL. What stood out to you the most of week 8?
Week eight, good question. What stuck out the most? National Tight End Day is becoming, I think it's gotten more popular than it was in years past.
Yeah, the what, like how many it was like how many catches did the tight ends got?
I
It
don't
was like
have
a
the exact
crazy.
number, but I think maybe 15 tight ends got in the end zone.
Yeah, and it was like 100 something, 77 or 177 catches. Yeah, the tight ends 8. Obviously Travis Kelce was gonna score a touchdown. Did
His
Kittle
first of
score?
the season.
Did Kittle score? No,
Yes,
right?
he did.
He did. Kittle scored. Obviously, he was going to score. Laporta scored. Even Brock Wright from the Lions. Obviously, you know what? Obviously, the Lions tight ends were going to eat. Dan Campbell was a tight end. He was going to get his guys in the end zone. But yeah, it was National Tight End Day, and the tight ends showed out except for Fryermuth. But that was on the next day. He didn't get in, but it wasn't on
We
National Tight
can't,
End.
we have nothing to do with the scheduling, so. You
I'm
can
sure.
you can say all your jabs all you want to.
No, no, I'm
Our
just
games,
saying, like I'm
you can
saying
get
that
all your jabs in, but
he
we had
wanted
a
he wanted again. He
well,
wanted to get it.
our game was nationally televised on Monday night. I don't know if the
Uh,
Chargers know anything about that, but I see you're
okay.
wearing your Commanders gear. How come you didn't wear
Yeah.
your Chargers gear?
No, I'm gonna switch
I
it out
see.
because we're gonna talk about it. Don't worry. We'll talk
I
about it because
mean,
I
I
saw part
see.
of it. They both won. Both of my teams won. But let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. Like some big topics right now. Obviously, the trade deadline is next Tuesday, and already some trades are already happening. Deontay Johnson is joining the Baltimore Ravens, an ex-Steeler. He's leaving Carolina. I mean, any shit from Carolina to Baltimore is a big difference. He'll actually going to be fighting for playoffs and a Super Bowl if they can make it. He has Super Bowl aspiration that team. What's your thoughts on that trade? Obviously, he was a Steelers.
Yeah, it was a Steeler. Not really much I have on that. He was relegated to Carolina. I believe we traded him probably maybe the last year of his contract.
Oh,
He was with the Steelers, and he was relegated to Carolina, and that's that. Now, I'm sure the frustration of not being on a winning team is probably what catapulted that trade.
yeah.
So he's a Raven now.
I
That's all
mean
I got.
they got a lot of weapons. They got a lot of weapons down there. Stephon Diggs is out for the season. He tore his ACL.
Yeah, I believe it was an ACL injury.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
that's a.
I didn't even know that was even gonna I didn't even know that happened during the week.
I know he got hurt, but I didn't think
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
that
yeah. I
bad.
knew he
And
got
then
hurt. I just didn't know. I just know the severity of it. But
yeah, they lose a big weapon for CJ Stroud. Obviously, Tank Dell's back. Nico Collins, I think he's gonna miss another week. But once he's back, he's right there. They still have Dalton Schultz. Joe Mixon is still there. So, but that's a huge hit for the Texans, CJ Stroud. But they're
and
still
they got
they're still.
yeah, they got a short week. They're playing the Jets on Halloween night.
Oh my God, that is just. I mean, are they just ever gonna figure it out down there? They're 2-6. They lost against the Patriots. Obviously, that was kind of like for them to win the game, and they still lost. They still lost. But
Yeah, it's getting really loud in. I
New York.
mean, it's always loud in New York, but
Yeah, is it the Jets or the Jets?
yeah, the Jets in particular, it's just time's ticking. Like a lot of
Yeah,
question marks.
yeah. In other news, a controversial thing happened in Houston. Anthony Richardson tapped out in the first quarter, I didn't watch the game. I was obviously watching other games. I thought it when they were saying that he tapped out and stuff. I thought that happened like in the fourth quarter, like, and then like I was like, oh, maybe he got hurt or something. No, apparently he said in his press conference, I was tired. I needed a break, and it was the first quarter, or like yeah, or the first quarter, right? I
I
believe
I
I
think it
think
was
it was,
either first quarter or first half. I don't have the exact details.
but like he ran. I guess he ran, and then after that play, he just like tapped out, tapped his helmet. He asked to be subbed off just for that. Well, I guess one drive to catch his breath, but I mean, it's controversial because quarterbacks, you know, they're not known to tap out. Obviously, running backs, possibly receivers, but quarterback, you're the star of the franchise and you tap out. It was very controversial. A lot of people did not like it. And Andy, what's your thoughts on that? And then now he's benched. He's benched now. Joe Flacco is going to start for the Colts this week.
I mean, initially when all that happened, I just thought it was a little odd, but I think on his part, maybe it's just like I don't want to say, yeah, he was tired, but I just think it was just a bad look for him to say that. I don't think he really knew that at the time when she said that, but
But
yeah,
tired though, tired. Like
here's the
you're supposed to be fit. It's already week 8. If you're tired, that means you're not in shape. And like I said, it was the first
mm,
quarter, I think, or first. I believe it's the first quarter. Like to say that you're tired, that's crazy. That means you're not in shape. Like, come on.
mm.
Like,
And also, I know people are going to point out to the fact like he's very injury prone, and I
and he
guess going
hasn't
to
played
use
his
that.
best. He has
Hmm
not played his best. He has not. I think he was like. Let me just take his stats for this week. His completion rate was not that great. 10 for 32, 175 yards, one touchdown, one interception. He has not played that well. Um, and when Joe Flacco came in, the offense uh was very explosive. I think 300, like he has thrown for like 300 plus yards. Right now the Colts are 4-4. They lost a tough one in Houston, but that wasn't a good look for Anthony Richardson. And like you said, in a football locker room, it does not sit well that you basically, I guess, quit on your team on that one play or whatever. Like you can't say you're tired. Everybody's tired.
It's
Even
like
the
what
old
he
line, the big boys. I'm sure they're tired.
obviously he's a very young quarterback in his career, and he still has the potential to get better. But what he has to understand, it's just a learning lesson. Like as the quarterback, that's just something you cannot do that. You can't you just can't. That it just sets a bad precedent. And obviously, he's young. He's about 24 years old. He still has time to like learn from it. He made it. I'll say he made an innocent mistake, but it's just like you're in the professionals. Like that's just something you can't do because it sets a precedent about
But not even in college. Like in college, you don't even see quarterbacks do that. Like I said, like everybody's tired, but you cannot quit on your team on that. Even if it's a play or two, you can't quit. You know,
like I'm not gonna go too far, and I don't want to call him soft, but it's being perceived as like, bro, like that's just like that's kind of like a soft move. Like
like
that's
like
it.
weak. It's
It's just
weak. It's
something you
weak.
don't do. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weak.
it's weak,
Yeah,
and
that's a
then
better
like I
way to say
said,
it. It's weak.
and like I said, it's not. It doesn't sit well in the locker room, like even your teammates. And I don't think I don't know for a fact, but I'm sure some of his teammates that didn't sit well for them because they're probably confused, like, well, why are you sitting out? I mean, he could have lied and said like, oh, I was like injured or hamstring or something, just lie. But I guess he told the truth. But Joe Flacco's gonna start. I think this is good for the Colts. I think they made this move. I think that is one of the reasons why they went in this move that he kind of tapped out and basically, I think that was the reason why they kind of that was part of the reason why they moved him. They they're starting Joe Flacco, and obviously I think the offense was running a little bit better with Joe Flacco, and it's good for Anthony Richards to learn from this
Yeah, I just feel
and
like
learn
the bench.
from.
Yeah, I think the benching is just more kind of like I guess for lack of a better term, kind of like you got put in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Just
But he's still the franchise guy. Like he has a lot of upside. Like I said, he's injury prone, but I think there's some signs that he does play well. And he
Mhm.
was picked what fourth overall by the
Fourth
Colts.
overall. He
Fourth
still
overall.
has
He has potential,
like
but he hasn't played that much football. Remember, he didn't start
mhm.
that many games in college. He's still young. Like I said, he'll learn from
Like
this.
when I watch him play, you can kind of still see he has flashes, but you can also still sort of see in his game he's still sort of learning the quarterback position,
Yeah,
honestly.
he has like Cam Newton as like kind of style, but Cam Newton didn't tap out or anything like that. Um, but yeah,
And
man,
diving the fumble, but just saying.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, that happened today. That was the news that broke out that Joe Flacco's starting. But let's get right into it. A big game happened in our area, Landover, Maryland. The Commanders took on the Bears. First overall pick versus the second overall pick. This game was flexed to 4 o'clock. Um, man, what a crazy game! What a crazy ending! What is your thoughts as like first? I'm gonna let you speak first, and then I'm gonna speak. What is your thoughts on that game? Obviously, it was a crazy ending.
I mean, that's one. I think that's a game that's gonna probably live in DMV infamy. I mean, not infamy, DMV lore for maybe years to come.
It's still being talked about, and we're already on Tuesday, man. That Hail Mary is still being talked about.
It's still early in the season, but I think that's definitely going to be whatever happens. That will be the highlight of the Washington Commanders 2024 season.
But that could also that play and that thing is also on the Bears too, because if they would have won, they would have been 5-2,
Hmm.
especially in that
Yeah,
division.
yeah. Pretty much what's also being talked about is how the cornerback
Tyreek,
Tyreek Stevenson. Yeah, he kind of had a little bit of a brain fart during during his assignment. He had his back turned to the offense, kind of taunting the crowd, and just
well, apparently he said he wasn't doing to the crowd, but come on, man, like you were doing it to the crowd. He was taunting the crowd, like
he basically blew his assignment of like you're the
and
back end safety. Your job, like you're the last line of defense. Your job is to also keep an eye on the quarterback because Jaden had time to pretty much scramble around that
well,
pocket. So,
he was the one that tipped it too.
so
So
first his job is to follow him, like just keep an eye on him, and like just in case
yeah,
he tosses up that Hail Mary, your job is to bat that down. But he didn't really get into
so
his spot in time, and it also does fall on the Bears DBs too
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. The
they
coaching
just tip the
DBs,
pat. They tip the pass. You're supposed to swat it down. You're taught to
yeah,
swat it down,
yeah.
but one little one little lapse in judgment turned
On the
into
coaching, yeah, it was on the coaching of the defense, but like I said, like he was taunting, and right when they snapped the ball, he was like, "Oh shit!" He went to go to go try to running around. But prior to that, there was, it was a lot of field goals. Our kicker, he hadn't missed, and then not till Tony Romo mentioned that this guy hasn't missed, and he missed. And at that time, it could have been 15-7, if I'm not mistaken, because I remember the DeAndre Swift touchdown that kind of broke out. So at that time it could have been 15-7, but Tony Romo had to jinx it, and our kicker missed, or it was blocked or something like that. I think it was blocked. Um, and then it was a pass interference call on Keenan Allen. Like I said, out of everybody, it had to be freaking Keenan Allen that got the flag for the pass interference, and the let
your
well,
Charger bias is showing.
yeah, see, but I'm saying it had to be everybody. But even before that, they could have even scored too, but the Bears wanted to be fancy and all and give an O line the ball, and I don't even think he had the ball possession of the ball. He literally just, I guess, he fumbled the ball, and that
Yeah,
they didn't
well
convert.
NFL history. I think they're trying to do the refrigerator Perry thing from the '80s.
Mhm.
He was a lineman. He was a lineman that sometimes they'll probably run some fullback plays on him. And I
Mhm.
think the Bears just want to get back to kind of want to get back to their culture or like their lore, but did not really work in their favor. And
So that was before that, and the defense has been playing really well, and then obviously the Bears were able to get another chance, and that's when with like 31 seconds in the fourth quarter, that's when they got the pass interference call. Then DeAndre Swift scored, and then they went for two, and then that's how it was 15-12 at that moment. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, what I was thinking was okay, if they just gotta get in field goal range, and we can send this to overtime. Um, but I didn't think about no Hail Mary. I was just thinking like just try to get in field goal range. They had one timeout, I think, at that moment, so I was just get out of bounds, and we should be good to save some time. I don't know where the clock was from 20. I thought it was 20 seconds left, and then I don't know where the ref put to 12, and I was like, okay, well then they got to do something. Um, Even Tony Romo predicted like all they had to do is just slant and go out of bounds.
Hmm.
But that was with like what 5 seconds left. What was the defense doing? Like that's what they're gonna do because Jaden Daniels is not gonna have the arm strength to get it all the way to the end zone. It was like he had to be at least halfway of the field just to even get it there, and he had a rib injury too. He's dealing with a rib injury, so that's also a factor where he can launch it. So that's another mistake of the coaching from the Bears perspective that they should have, you know, they're gonna go out of bounds, catch the ball and go out of bounds. So that's something the defense and the coaching should have prepared for that. And then we get to the Hail Mary. Usually in those occasions, they usually put a receiver in because they're more able to catch the ball. They're taller, they're bigger, you know, but they didn't. So that's again on the coaching on the Bears. Matt Eberflus and the defense.
Yeah,
They
I
they
believe Eberflus was a former defensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just. I feel like a lot of the Bears faithful is starting to turn on him because they were the team in I believe they were the team in Hard Knocks, and I
Yeah.
guess they kind of did like some profile on Matt Eberflus, and now they thought everything was going well. Now they're
And
obviously they're
Caleb,
frustrated. Obviously
yeah.
they're frustrated with the outcome of the game, but I think
Yeah.
it's also
But the commander we played way better. It was gonna hurt more for us to lose the game than for them because we played way better this game, and to lose this game in that manner, like just after the pass interference call, it would have sucked, and we would have been 5-3. They would have been 5-2. Um, but man, this season is just like I think
yeah.
just
He was a
luck.
former linebacker coach, and he was a defensive coordinator for the Colts.
Yeah, but I mean, Caleb Williams didn't play that well. Not to like the fourth quarter, he started making some plays. But Jaden Daniels outplayed him. Threw for 326, one touchdown, 221 for 38. Caleb 10 for 24, 131. DeAndre Swift ran the ball, but man, in that play, I couldn't believe it, man. They like the fact that Noah Brown was just right there because he probably wasn't expected or not, but he could have dropped the ball, and that could have sucked for him. That could have
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a very interesting point you made. He could have dropped the ball.
he could have dropped the ball if we would have been like it could have been a whole different story at that moment. Like he dropped the ball and it's just like we had it there, but the fact that he catched that, like I said, I think luck is on our side this season. Honestly, I didn't think that we're gonna be 6-2. I thought like this team is we have good players. We'll see what happens, but man, a lot of credit to Dan Quinn, Cliff, Cliff Kingsbury, and man, this city at that you saw the how Northwestern Field was, FedEx Field was, how loud it was. Those fans were crazy going. And like I said, man, we're still talking about the Hail Mary, and we're already on Tuesday. Um, but man, it's good to see the Commanders right now winning. Right now, a lot of fans just cheering, and people are not scared, not ashamed to wear the burgundy and gold right now. Like I said, I'm wearing it. But it's been rough years for us. We finally have our guy. Praying that he stays healthy. We had RG3 happen, but praying that he stays healthy. He had a rib injury. He should be good because in 2 weeks we do have your Steelers. So
Yeah,
that's gonna
yeah.
be a big
Just
test.
I was just letting you know that moment is just like enjoy, but I'm just saying you guys it doesn't get easier, but I'm just saying
We gave remember
we'll be ready.
We gave Baltimore a good game, so we'll see, you know. But speaking with your Steelers played on Monday night, took on the shitty ass Giants. The Giants actually played not that bad, you know. They
I'll give them the credit. They with the Giants, they do have a pretty good pass rush, a
Dexter
pretty
Lawrence.
pretty good pass rush, decent defense. They're very physical. It's just their offense is just kind of it's still we're in
Not
week
even,
8 and it's still kind of a question mark for their offense. But
Daniel Jones was throwing some dimes though. He was throwing some dimes though.
like I'll say this about Daniel Jones, like I know he's been kind of like it's been kind of iffy for him like this whole season, but I don't think he's been turning over the ball at a high rate lately.
I mean, he did throw. I mean, he threw it through. He threw a interception toward what the late fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, he threw an interception.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
fourth
So,
quarter, and
like I
he
say,
did fumble the ball.
yeah. I mean, he threw for 264. Their backup running back Tyron Tracy Jr. ran for 145, one touchdown. So he, you know, the run game was really good for the Giants, especially with against that defense of yours. But yeah, talk about your Steelers. They won 18-26. The offense looks really good with
I
Russell Wilson.
mean,
The
yeah, the
passing
final
game
score
looks,
was 26-18. Could have been, or when it could have been 40-18 if the refs didn't have the
but
flags up there, you know what? But
the touchdown, the George Pickens touchdown, his 2 feet, his right foot, he put it down twice. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I was watching, and Jason Kelsey he made a very, very interesting point during in his commentary saying, he basically said, I swear every year there's always this one thing that's like indicates whatever the hell's what is or isn't a catch, and
What the rules are?
like
What are the rules, right?
yeah,
Like, but I guess now we know that it has to be both feet because the fact that I think it was more difficult for him to have his right foot twice
yeah,
than
I mean, give
on that
credit
catch.
like with GP that's like incredible body control, but it's still the zebras are always going to have their explanation for
And then the
things,
other one
but
was a face mask, right?
yeah, that was on Broderick Jones, our left tackle, who consistently gets boneheaded penalties. But like I said, even towards the end of the game, Russ even admits that he's saying like as a team like we can be better and just like there's still some things to clean up. We're on a bye this week, and typically the bye week is the time like teams pretty much go back in the lab, clean things up,
But you,
just
but
pretty
you,
much reevaluate things and figure out how to pretty much improve moving forward.
but your offense has played really well. Like you said, total yards 426, passing yards was 259, rushing yards 167. Najee three games in a row with 100-yard
100
rushing.
yards rushing. Hmm.
You guys had 20 first downs. You guys were 16 for 13 in third downs, third down conversions. 4 sacks. I think the last one was TJ Watt, right?
Yes,
TJ
sir.
Watt.
Alex
TJ
Highsmith had
Watt.
two, and
How
yep,
how many sacks you got so far this season?
TJ Watt. I think he's at. Let me take a look.
Like six, five? Probably like five, right?
He's at 6.5 sacks on the
6.5.
season.
Oh yeah, okay. 6.5. But man, your offense looks way look. I mean, it looks really good. Remember, like previous episodes, I've said like there got to be a second receiver. You guys had to go get another receiver, but for some reason, his connection with Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin, it's like with Russ, it's been working. They've been getting the ball and they've been making some big plays. I think there was one play where Van Jefferson just kind of comes back and gets the ball
Hmm.
and makes this big play, but
And
it it,
then
it
he also had that 50 yarder George Pickens to kind of I don't want to say ice the game, but it definitely got the team back in the red zone. But
but you can see how I guess the decision of like with Justin, it was yes, they're gonna win games, and they won games. They were 4-2, but is he gonna lead him? Is he gonna lead the Steelers to playoff victory to the Super Bowl, or was Russ going to? And like I said, Russ has been to the Super Bowl. He has won a Super Bowl. I think Mike Tomlin just knew that, we have to see what we have in Russ, and he has been playing really well. Like when he bootlegs out and just throws it, it's just these receivers look. Your offense looks really good, and
I
obviously with
mean,
Artie Smith being
mhm.
the offensive coordinator, makes some plays. Obviously now you have Jalen Warren, that like Darnell Washington. He makes some. He made
I
one
mean,
catch
I
for
think
20 yards.
the thing with the offense is like I don't want to say I don't want to say like maybe like it's too much interference, but I think that's just I think when they just trust Artie Smith just to like be like just call
But the
the
play,
plays and do his job, that's
but the
like
playbook's more open for Russ. I feel
mhm.
like than it was with Justin. But Justin was more conservative. Obviously, we're gonna let him do what he did in Chicago. But I feel like now the his Marty Smith's playbook is more wide open, and this is showing with the Seals. They
Mhm.
scored 26 points. I think last season, a couple of seasons, it was hard for you guys to even score more than 20.
Yeah, like I'm giving Artie Smith his flowers. Like the under his stewardship, the offense is like completely improved, and the whole. I believe even George Pickens even said like even the whole morale of the team, just like the vibes are high and everything's just going great. Like no drama, no issues. Like I thoroughly enjoy like how this team's performing, the morale of the team. It's just everything's just going great. But all and even also once again, you got to give respect to the OG Danny Smith, the special
Oh yeah,
teams.
the special teams, a punt return,
I've
Calvin Austin.
the special teams like this is something new. Like I've never seen the special teams core be this great. And Danny Smith, he's still man, especially 70, he's still busting ass in the gym.
Yeah,
Freaking dog.
three on all three phases. You guys have been playing really well, been effective. Like I say, you guys are what 6-2 right now, or 5-2,
Yes.
6-2. The Ravens are 5-3, and you guys have them
And
in.
we took back the first place spot in the division right now.
Yeah. So, but then you guys have them in 3 weeks, I think, because you guys say you're in a bye, and then you
Hmm.
play the Commanders, and I think you guys have the Ravens. But the schedule that you guys have, it's a tough stretch. It is a tough stretch to end the season right now. Like I said, 6-2 is not bad. Knowing that you guys have a tough schedule towards the end of the season, and like I said, you have the Commanders, the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, the Browns again, which they look good with Jameis. So I feel like that series can even be split because the Browns just beat the Ravens. Um, the Bengals, who knows how they're gonna do defensively? They're not that great, so I can see you guys beating them and probably taking the series there. The Eagles, you guys still have the Eagles to play. The Ravens, like I said, the Chiefs towards the second to last game on Christmas Day, which is on Netflix, I think.
Yes, yes, it
And then
is.
and then you end it with at home with the Bengals. So it is a very tough stretch. There is some winnable games, and you guys probably split some series with the division, but 6-2 is not that bad. And who knows if they would
I
win the.
mean, I see and hear everything you all listed, but I was watching the game and even like honestly, these type of games just show like why Mike Tomlin's had the job security he's had for so long. He's
Uh-huh.
just he's
No, this.
always been he's always been consistent since day one with everything he
Yeah.
does, and it's just had a trickle down effect from his first day on the job even to now. And like they were even saying on the broadcast, like he preaches so much and all the guys buy in no matter what goes
Mhm.
on. Like
I'm sure it had to
it's
take a lot for Justin
it,
to like to kind of know that he's gonna be the behind Russ, and like I say, he needs to everybody to buy in. What he preaches and what the culture is, and I feel like
mhm,
like I said, the morale of the team is good. You even see Justin and Russ just laughing and Justin showing support with Russ, and when Russ was there, he
mhm.
was showing support with Justin. So like I said, the morale's good there. The team is actually enjoyable to watch now with the offense actually playing really well because the last couple of seasons it was not that great.
We don't need to
Um,
speak on that man's name. He
you know, the
he's
offense
gone.
wasn't.
He's gone, and we don't need to speak about that.
It was kind of boring, obviously, but you with your defense is always going to show up. So I think like
Yeah, just another. I'm wearing the jersey, but also you also see those stats too. My left, just it's so amazing just seeing like the consistency TJ's even
now
like
is he gonna
put
win?
together in his
Now
career.
is he gonna win Defensive Player of the Year, or he's gonna get?
I mean, he's been snubbed in the past, and I think he's been pretty vocal about that. Not saying other guys weren't deserving, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
been
no, but
snubbed in the
he's a
past.
factor. Yeah, he's a factor.
But yeah,
Uh,
just those stats to my left: 31 forced fumbles in his entire career, 22 strip sacks. Like it had to be maybe like his. I want to say maybe his fifth year in the league. That's why I thought. That's why I just watched. I knew like, dude, this guy is just a game wrecker. Like that. That's his mo. He wrecks games. It
yeah,
sucks to be. It really sucks to be like a tackle who just has to take him 1-on-1, and he's just carved out. Not saying like he hasn't made a name for himself, but like he's kind of gone from like everybody knowing him as TJ's brother to actually being like an
the guy.
an
Yeah,
actual force in the league.
yeah,
And he already's had over 100 career sacks, and I could confidently say I genuinely believe he is carving out a Hall of Fame career.
yeah, for sure. Right now, the way that he's playing now, he's in a Hall of Fame career right now. Like I said, there was a lot of games, a lot of points scored. The Lions just whooped that ass against the Titans, 52-14. Um, I think Jared Goff didn't even throw for more than 100 yards, and still the Lions were able to score 52 points. The Bills went to Seattle and just destroyed the Seahawks 31-10. Josh Allen played really well.
Bills
Like I said, that
Mafia, Bills Mafia infiltrated the Pacific Northwest.
yeah. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They beat the Raiders. They got D Hop in right now. He only got like three catches if I'm not mistaken. But the AFC is pretty close. The Cowboys, they lost against the Niners. The Cowboys, well, they gave a game towards the end, but the Niners were able to win. The Niners still don't look good, but we'll see. The division's pretty tough. Um, because the Rams, they won on Thursday. They beat the Vikings, so that's pretty good. Who else? The Eagles beat the Bengals, so that's good for you guys. Obviously not the best
Yeah,
for us because we're
the Bengals defense is just like it's kind of like a question mark, just like how bad they've kind of regressed.
because the offense is still going to be there with Jamar, T. Higgins, obviously now with Chase Brown, um, Yoshi Vash, Gesicki. He's been a favorite target for Joe Burrow. So it's just the defense it doesn't look good with the Bengals. That's what I'm saying. Like I think you guys can get two games on the Bengals because with the way that your offense is playing, I think you guys can definitely score points on them. Um, like I mentioned,
I
the
mean,
Colts they lost. Wait, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's just look. This is the thing with AFC North ball. You can always hype it up as
Wait,
like some team. Like you can always hype it up as like it's always a must-win game, but look, just as a Steelers fan, AFC North ball, I live for that.
wait,
I'm,
wait,
we're
wait,
always
wait,
ready. I love
wait.
it.
When is the Hard Knocks coming out? Because remember, it's all four of them. Because
Uh,
I would love to see the inside of the decision that they made it with Russ and Justin Fields and everything. I would want to see that, like inside. Um, and obviously with the Browns, I would want to see the Deshaun, Jameis Winston, like the whole situation, because right now everything that's happening with the AFC North is must see. Hard Knocks, it's a must see. They probably doing like
uh,
November, right? November.
Hard Knocks in season. That'll actually debut in December 3rd.
Damn. So we got to wait a while then.
Yeah, I think the production is probably just starting right now.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Besides that, any words? Obviously, we had the NBA has started. You
Still
know,
early in NBA season, pretty much get things sorted out.
right now I'm looking at my phone. The Yankees won. they got a game. They beat the Dodgers 11-4. So they got one game, but yeah, it's going back to LA and it's over after that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't watch baseball, but the Dodgers got it. I
the
think they
Dodgers
just
got
got
it.
it.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman's a monster. Just what four home runs in a row. It's crazy. But yeah, man. We'll be back with another episode next week. Till then, peace.
Goodbye. Go out and trade.